Welcome, movie fans. Thanks for joining us for episode 128 of Reading Between the Reels, the premier podcast of existential whiplash. If you're a new listener, we're so glad you found us. If you've been enjoying the show, please like, follow, and subscribe, and leave us a 5-star review on iTunes or Spotify. You can also support the show by posting on your socials and by joining our Facebook group. I'm Craig Dickinson, and I'm joined as always by my co-hosts Corey Heichman, Justin Eldon. What's up, fellas? How we doing tonight?
I'm good, Craig. Good. You mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling.
My favorite bits. So what have we been watching this week? I'm going to start with Justin. What have you been watching?
I have been watching Black Mirror. I don't know if anyone has ever seen Black Mirror. I love Black Mirror. It's on Netflix. I didn't know they came out with a new season. But it's basically like modern day Twilight Zone, where they take like one aspect of technology and like play it out into a future scenario and how that might wreck humanity.
Cool.
It's really good. All of the episodes like really high budget, and there's a bunch of cameos from people you like. I'd say I think there's 4 seasons or maybe 5. I forget.
7.
7? What?
7's coming out. I just saw there's a trailer for it.
Oh, okay. So there's currently 6. I'd say
Are
of
they
all
individual
6 seasons,
shows?
Yeah, they're individual episodes. They're
not
connect.
tied together. Okay.
I think there's one that has like a sequel to it, but yeah, they're not tied in.
Sounds cool.
Which is nice because then you're like, oh, I don't like this plot line, or this is played out or whatever. You just go to the next episode. I don't know. It's really well done, and it kind of makes you go, huh? Maybe we should slow our technological rolls here.
It's British.
Give it a shot.
Nice.
Do they have accents? Do they have accents, governor?
I mean, it's like almost all the episodes are like the not too distant future, so yeah, but not distractingly so.
Not like Doctor
good.
Who.
Is Doctor Who distracting? I think it's part of his charm. But
the accents are sometimes.
I see.
Okay.
Doctor.
Yeah.
Doctor.
Corey, what have you been watching?
Listen, I waited a long time to do it. I guess I finally started watching my wife and I started watching Psych again. We rebooted it for our nightly little hangout. Love that show. It gets better every time. I need a new Psych movie with crossover with Monk. I've been waiting for years for that. Decade. Now I am season 2 halfway through Star Trek, the other Star World. Mm-hmm. Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Oh. And it follows Christopher Pike. And I am loving this show. This show. And here's the thing that I'm realizing about Star Wars, Star Trek. Star Wars has always been that good versus evil kind of battle, right? You know, I mean, you got the good side, the dark side, Jedi. This is Star Trek is things that you would struggle with no matter what time period fit in that show. And so there's things that they have to deal with, leadership or making choices or going against command and doing, struggles that are endearing of any timeline fit in Star Trek. And social issues and social problems and struggles and all these things we have all fit inside a realm of Star Trek, just a future. Fancier toys, fancier ships, but still, they're dealing with the same things we are, and I love it. I've become a Trekkie. I may have to start a podcast on Trekkie stuff because I'm loving it so much. So
cool.
You're gonna spin off into your solo career, Corey?
My solo. I'm going solo for Trekkies. Anyway,
that's the title of the podcast right there. Solo for Trekkies.
Solo for Trekkies, because a lot of Trekkies are solo. I'm just saying, they are.
Wow,
they are. I was
thinking like Han Solo,
insulted
like
a whole fan base right as they were about to welcome me in. I just slapped them all.
Catching strays.
You guys are all solo.
Where are you?
And that was the shortest solo career
so I can get the heat off
time.
me a little bit.
Well, I would say I don't watch TV as it comes on very often, but I'm watching a couple of shows right now that are coming on weekly, which I enjoy getting back into the swing of that. It reminds me of like my youth. So Alien Earth, which I know Justin is also watching. Which
I only didn't say Alien Earth because I knew you were going to say Alien Earth. So
it's been good and mediocre. I'm hoping that it gets better by the end. I'm reserving judgment till the end. So
yeah, like it really depends on what they do with a lot of these threads that they're pulling.
Well, Justin and I are both big fans of Prometheus and Covenant, so it's kind of tramping on that a little bit, maybe. So I think when it's done, we'll need to kind of have a little bit more of a debrief. But so that I'm also watching Peacemaker season 2, which I've been enjoying for the most part because I love that universe and I like John Cena and I think he's pretty good in it. But the thing I've really been spending a lot of time with is I rewatched all 5 Jason Bourne movies. I just mainlined them, and I think I'd only seen the Bourne Legacy once, and some of them I've only seen once or twice. But watching them all together, they really hold up, and the universe is actually really well put together. And I love seeing.
Why haven't we discussed this, Craig?
Yeah, we need to. That's why
I didn't want to many thoughts.
Yeah, well, I think let's talk about it at lunch tomorrow. I didn't want to talk about it before we got on the show. Just wanted to have that be kind of an organic thing. But no, I'd only seen the most recent one once. So if you haven't watched the Jason Bourne movies in a while, I mean, some of the tech looks a little dated, but the action is great. There's an amazing car chase / motorcycle chase in every single one of them. The score is great.
Well, and I don't think any movie in that series falters. They're all
great.
I think probably the most recent one a little bit, but he's getting kind of old. And Tony Gilroy's been in the news a lot because of Andor, and he wrote the first 4 and directed the 4th one. He's not involved with the 5th one, but there's his fingerprints are all over that. So if you liked Andor, if you liked some of his other stuff, obviously he worked on Rogue One. Michael Clayton is the one. So great show, great movie. Movies. So I enjoyed those thoroughly. Worth a rewatch for sure. Yep. Yeah, good stuff.
So tonight, though, we are back to our series on the films of Christopher Nolan, and we are going to begin to tackle Inception from 2010. So, fellas, let's go ahead and kick off with our overall thoughts on Inception, Christopher Nolan's Inception from 2010. And whoever wants to just jump in.
Well, so we decided to make this a 2-parter because we can't do this movie justice. There's too many layers, so much going on. And I know the major criticism of this movie is that there's so many plot holes, which I feel like I want to address later. I feel like it makes a lot of sense that there's a lot of plot holes because you're supposed to question whether or not you're still within this dream reality, and dreams have plot holes. That just adds to it. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but I'm gonna live with it. And the movie is fast paced, and it doesn't get hung up on details. It focuses on the big picture, the theme of the movie, which to me is more people call it a heist movie, but I feel like it's more of a psychological thriller where you're asking yourself, how often does our memory and our experiences and our past sabotage our own greatness? I feel like that's the whole thing. And Dom, Leonardo DiCaprio's character, that dude's all about that. He's obviously this incredibly talented person with a bright future, and then he is just letting his past bring him down over and over again. And so overall thoughts, great movie, great film. Very few complaints, but I'm sure we'll find some.
Yeah, there you go. We will pick those nits. Corey, what are your overall thoughts?
Well, now hold on. Okay, because here's the thing.
Here it starts.
I love this movie.
Wait, pause. Corey, real quick.
Yep.
Can you describe the manner in which you watched this film? Was it on a TV? Was it on a phone? Was it in one sitting? Was it in multiple sittings?
This was in 3 sittings, and I would watch part. I actually did it on my prep. Don't tell anybody from school. I did it on my prep. I'd watch a part, and then the next day I would go back and start a little bit, and then part. And then I'd come home and watch part. Yeah. I guess I did over a couple sittings.
That's fine. I've done that many times. Yeah.
But the thing
sometimes
I
it
did,
helps digest.
Well, and it allowed me to kind of go back a little each time and overlap a couple scenes that I didn't get. So let me explain this about Christopher Nolan that I realized. One, I think the guy has an absolute endless, when he got to this movie, he made Memento, he made Prestige, he made The Dark Knight, right? And then he made Dark Knight Rises before this.
No, Dark Knight Rises
So
after
like
this. Rises is after
this.
Yeah.
Dark Knight and Batman Begins. Sorry.
You know, 2 Batman films.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
By the time he gets to this, everybody knows, man, this guy's a thinker. This guy does, just deep cerebral stuff. And so he goes and makes this movie. I don't even, what's the runtime on the movie?
148 minutes.
Yeah, ridiculous. Okay? Because it's
it won't be the last one like that. Yeah.
No, I know, but that's just what he does.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, most studios, especially DC, would come in and say, cut pieces out and say, you don't need this, you don't need this, you don't need this, and butcher up a film. Christopher Nolan, I don't think they do that. I think they look and go, 148 minutes? Are you serious? And he's like, yeah, that's what it takes to tell my story. And they're like, okay, it's Christopher Nolan.
Yep.
Like,
and so
let him cook.
Let him cook.
Yes.
Because at the end, I love the movie because this is not a one-watch movie. You have to watch this movie 2, 3, maybe 4 times before you really kind of get a sense of where you fall in the stories, right? Like what you believe. But I also hate that because I can't sit myself down and watch a 148-minute movie 4 times before I can figure out where I'm at. So, I mean, but that's him. He does complex rules. He does hardly any hand-holding throughout the whole thing to make it obvious for you. As we all know, we're still debating it all these years later.
Yep.
But he gets a maximum payoff on it. So I think it's great. I love to watch it. I got more out of it this time. I definitely have some different theories now than I did the first time I watched it. I'm probably going to have to watch it again, but I don't know when, if I have the energy to watch it again. Like, I'm worn out. I'm in limbo right now. I'm in limbo, and I'm just like, I got to go one more level down, and I don't want to. But I guess I have to.
Beautiful. Oh, my gosh. So I had this actually much later, but this makes a lot of sense to do it here. Is I heard a quote that said that this movie was like a metaphor for the film-going experience. So that's kind of what dreams are like. And I love that. Like that this movie is a metaphor for film too. Like, cause you kind of have to use your imagination and going through, and he's like bringing us into his shared vision. It's, I love the fact there's so many different, theories about this. Like nobody really has a firm grasp on it. Like we'll talk about the ending repeatedly. Like there's not a definitive ending, which you can debate. Like there's text evidence that you can pull from that to debate different things. But this is a film that, it reminds me a little bit of like, did you guys ever see Dreamscape from like the 80s? Dennis Quaid. It's like way back, but it's the same basic premise of, dream stealers and that kind of stuff or whatever, lucid dreaming and whatnot. So it's a little bit of a throwback for me from that. But what I also find interesting is that this film apparently he presented this to Warner Brothers right after Insomnia. So this thing has been cooking for like 8 years before it actually got made. So this is like his original ideas are coming in the wake of like The Matrix and some of those. Well, there's a lot of virtual reality stuff talking about which reality is real and all that stuff. And yet somehow this movie feels fresh because it comes out later, but it's also on a completely different wavelength. It's way more cerebral in certain ways. And you're playing with the time dilation, which won't be the last time that we do this. And I forget that this movie basically starts near the end, and most of this movie's flashback. Even that. Fantastic film though. Just I love it. Like this seems to be. I mean, obviously, we talked about in the last film. Heath Ledger wins an Oscar, and that's like the first Oscar for a Nolan film. He's been nominated, but this one wins 4 Oscars. Is nominated for 8. It was nominated for Best Picture, Best Original Screenplay. Didn't win those. Best Art Direction, Best Original Score, but did win for Best Cinematography, which we're going to talk about in a second. Best Sound Editing, Best Sound Mixing, Best Visual Effects, which, and they hold up. All of it does. I have a hard time believing.
I think even like putting all that aside, you can look at the cultural impact of this movie.
Yes.
Like 15 years later.
How is this movie 15 years old? I don't get it.
Right? But 15 years later, it's still like dead center in a lot of conversations about films.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's right there.
Yeah.
As are a lot of Nolan films, but it's both like highly praised cinematically and like with awards, but also culturally, and it's still like very much within the zeitgeist.
And I don't know, it would be really hard to pick what my favorite Nolan movie is, but if I had to pick one, I think I'd say this one.
oh, this one feels so like everyone's pick though. You know, I feel like I got to be different. And say something else.
You got to be hipster about that. And you're like, the
yeah,
following is my amazing. First, or just following.
I feel like no, I need the Interstellar. This one is it's this one or Interstellar right now. I don't know. I'm excited to see what he does with the Odyssey. But that's Nolan, man. He hits epic tales, epic stories, and fills them with details that you don't know until you watch it again and again and understand him.
Yeah.
But then they age so well too because his love of practical effects.
Yes, that cannot be overstated.
And he keeps the crazy thing about this movie is like Nolan is known for keeping his movies very, very grounded in reality, and like this is all about dreams, not reality. And he's like, we're gonna keep it grounded. And even for a dream movie, it's fairly grounded. Like you don't see like any unicorns or like dragons or something in the dream world. Like it's all still
there should be
reality-ish.
Then it should be in the Blade Runner universe.
I would say this: this movie, they go into that dream from the plane with like an hour and 15 or 20 minutes left, like that, or it's like a solid, almost whole movie in itself, just on the plane, dreaming whole cycle to the end, right? Like.
Yep.
That's a ton of time. That's not just here's a climax and then we're done with resolution. That's like we're here and locked in for an hour and 20 minutes solid like this, trying to figure out every little detail.
Yep.
Well, and the pacing is very different and weird, but it works.
Yes.
Because for that hour plus, it keeps you on the edge of your seat that entire time.
I didn't know what world I was in anytime I'm watching. Like in that hour, I was like, am I up? Am I down? Where are we going? Like just...
Yeah.
And for a movie with so much exposition, necessary exposition, like at no point am I bored by that. Or do I feel, all right, this is just an exposition dump, whatever. Okay, you're going to try and explain. Like, I'm engaged the whole time.
Okay, so I know we're off script here.
No, we're fine.
We don't have script, off outline here. So Ariadne, she's a stand-in for the audience, right?
Yes.
Like she is there to exposition dump too.
Mm-hmm.
Which is strange because a lot of the other characters, like it makes sense with Cobb and Arthur, but like Saito, and just like generally it feels like this whole like lucid dreaming thing is almost like a well-known concept in this world. Yes. And they never really get into like, why does everybody know this? Like they go to another country, India maybe, and there's like that whole sorry. There's like that whole underground room where just like a ton of people are doing that, and it's like,
you know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of John Wick a little bit, where there's like, hey, there's whole subculture right below the surface that you didn't know about. But they don't make a big deal about it. Like she doesn't know about it, but there is a lot of people that know about lucid dreaming that work and this technology that apparently was secret military tech.
Wait a minute. Okay, now hold on. Was that real?
Was what real?
That was all the real world. That was the real world. Him flying into India and going. That's this. Okay, here's the question. We're still on overall thoughts here. We got to start talking about the tops and the where we at and we fall. That's the most important thing on this movie that we got to talk about. Where do we all fall? Because I'm lost. I got two theories and both of them work.
Yeah, I want to kind of save some of that for the end of the next show.
Doggone it! You got me.
So let's dig. Well, I'm sure that's going to come up naturally, but let's dig into some of the finer details, as Justin alluded to. And so cinematography, for which it won an Oscar, some composition, camera work, color stuff. What are some of the things that we pulled out and noticed this time, and what do we think it means?
I don't want to talk about that, Craig. I want to talk about theories.
We will. There's time later, but let's dig into this.
I know. I'm just going to jump in and go first here.
That's like baiting the hook.
So Ariadne, right?
Mm-hmm.
I already mentioned how she's, the stand-in for the audience, but you know that not only because of the massive amounts of exposition dump she gets, which don't feel tacked on, like they feel semi-natural. Like sometimes exposition dumps, I'll just be like, nah, I see that you did the thing. I don't feel like that with this movie, but she's almost always in every single scene standing like dead center of the frame, or sitting dead center of the frame. Mm-hmm. Whereas other characters, especially Cobb, is usually off to the side.
Interesting.
Even though, like, he's a big name actor, and I don't know if that's to like perpetuate this idea that he's like fractured in a way. Like half of him is still in this dream world with, you know, his love and whatnot, and just like how, I guess, like fragile his experience is. And then, like, you know, there's the obvious stuff with color. I feel like the dream worlds are always a little on, like, the warmer tones, like warmer hues, warmer browns, things like that. I mean, actually, that's turned on its head when you go down deep enough into that snow. You know what? Scratch that. They're not warmer.
Yeah. Well,
Shut up.
I think it depends. Like, you know, just to jump in briefly, but like the Saito's castle, which is in the first dream, in Saito's dream, but is also in Limbo, because that's from his mind, is super warm. Like, it's like golden hour. There's lots of gold in there. It's super inviting and super wealthy. Clearly, it's meant to indicate wealth and security. And
Yep. But then we get the deeper level in like the snow fortress.
Yeah.
I understand the fortress, but the snow, maybe because the cold heart of his father.
Oh,
I don't know.
I like that.
I just pulled it out of my butt.
Yeah, I thought the snow. Here's the thing about that. Like, I thought that snow represented they're going further down, and the less details you have in snow allows you to cover up a lot.
Ooh, I like that.
Like, you're down in the snow level, that means it's colder, it's darker, and not that it's darker like darkness, but it's more like, if you have grass and green and trees, you have to plan for all of those. Like, you create a full busy scene. You have snow, it's just white. It's like white noise. And then here's the base that I'm going to go to. So I felt like, I don't know, I felt like the geography kept that going. But
No, that's very interesting. I wonder if we look at the dream worlds, do they get progressively less detailed as we go deeper into them?
Oh, okay. So let's think about the first layer. What was the first layer of that dream?
Well,
that would have been
first layer is the rain, right?
Well,
that's a lot. That's a lot.
Street.
Yeah, and then it's the hotel, and then it's the the water.
You could probably say they get
and there's
detailed,
whole cities and everything,
details.
and then when you get further down, it's the base, and then you go further down, you know, into their world that he created, right? But then you also get to Limbo, where Saito is. It's just that room. I don't see much else besides that room.
Yeah. Sounds like a rewatch.
It's getting smaller and smaller. See, this is what I'm talking about.
Well, then additionally, when you get into Cobb and Mal's world, that's super basic, right?
Yeah.
Very minimal architecture.
Yeah.
It's the same thing repeated over and over. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Corey, you have some composition stuff you want to talk about?
Yeah, for composition, I thought some of their camera work that they did and some of the stuff they did, especially the rotating corridor, was phenomenal.
Love it so
like
much.
how they layered all that, and that was practical effects stuff.
Yes.
I mean, that's not CGI and him moving like Spider-Man up and down. That's an actual set.
They
rotating,
built that thing,
and
yeah.
he has a steady cam on it. I mean, it's phenomenal. And then just some of the coloring in the whole movie. There's nothing that's really over bright. You know, it almost reminded me of a Matrix. You know, where you're in the world of the Matrix, it's always a green hue. I felt like this was always a muted, nothing too bright. You didn't see hot pinks. You didn't see bright reds. You didn't, you didn't see all of that stuff. So, kind of nostalgic type things. So, anyway, and then I love the slow motion stuff they've got going on. He hits those in such the good spots where there's just slow motion. The car or the van coming off the bridge.
Yeah.
And we keep going back to it, and it's just.
It just the time dilation thing, yeah.
Yes, and it's just incredible because what it is he's using the camera and he's using the art of what he's doing with the camera to tell the story and emphasize there's time dilation here. 10 seconds here is 15 minutes here, an hour here, a year here. So. Nolan does it, man. He brings in all the components to tell his story, not just here's the script and you're going to follow it.
Nice. Well, I had a couple shots that I wanted to talk about. One of them is an exposition thing, and I'm gonna have to go back and look at it. I can't remember if Ariane is in the middle or not, but she's in the scene with Arthur and Dom, and this is the scene they're talking about explaining the origin of the tech. and what's about how it used to be. It was designed for the military to use it as a training program for soldiers to safely kill each other. And it's a really wide shot, which I thought was really interesting. Like, it's not on a shot like when you're talking about important dialogue, usually it's close up and back and forth on the faces or whatever. But it's not. It's from like, it looks like it's from like 20 feet away, like almost like we're eavesdropping in the conversation. Or what I thought, like, it's kind of this disconnect from reality. That's trying to hammer that home. Like, these soldiers are supposed to be able to disconnect from the actual acts that they're performing. Like, they're supposed to be killing each other, but they need to be able to do it in a quote unquote safe way to do this and to disassociate. And so I thought, the combination of that shot, them being far from us, and the conversation, that cannot be an accident. That seems pretty stinking intentional.
That scene always makes me so mad, because that one line where they just casually are like, oh, this is tech built for the military. I'm like, can I get a prequel of Cobb and Arthur, like, either
stealing it, or
working for the military, or stealing it from the military, or helping develop something? Give me a prequel. Yeah. And both those guys are quite a bit older now, 15 years. You could recast them, totally fine.
Or de-age them.
I know Christopher Nolan doesn't do. Yeah. Christopher Nolan doesn't do sequels and prequels except for with Batman, but it's like, I want that movie.
Another thing I really like, and we'll talk about the final shot later, but yeah, that's just amazing. We'll talk about that at the end of next show. But the shot, and I love how subtle it is, where you have Eames turning into Browning, and so he's sitting in front of that trifold mirror, and it cuts away, and then it cuts back, and like more of the mirror keeps filling in with Tom Berenger's face, and it's so subtle. I love that effect so very much.
And the one at the end where he's on the shore and he's talking about, my father wanted me to be my own person. The camera's slowly panning by him. It's Tom Berenger.
Yes.
And as he says, I'm going to be my own person, and we come over, now it's Eames.
Yeah,
it's
around
like
his corner. Yeah.
Subtle.
So cool.
And it was a single shot.
Yeah.
It wasn't a pause, change angle. It was like one shot. And I don't know how they did it. I mean, I'm sure, CGI, whatever. But it was such a perfect timeless click, like just right there.
Well, yeah, I feel like that hits a couple of notes. Like it's Christopher Nolan's like whole deal that he doesn't use a lot of CGI, but CGI also would have looked wonky there if you did like some face transformation or something like that.
Whatever,
yeah. But it's so subtle that you don't care too much, but at the same time, it still speaks to dreaming, right? When you're in a dream, like, details will come out of nowhere, stuff will change, and maybe the dreamer isn't seeing that. I'm assuming he doesn't. He still sees his Godfather, but
for us,
things change in dreams all the time, and you just don't really think anything of it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Just a couple more things I just want to bring up. Just we see a lot of the same shot with alternating close-ups of Cobb's face, and then his point, and then from there you see his point of view looking at the back of his children, and we never see them until the end. And just that back and forth long, and like because we take his place, right? We're looking through his eyes, and we're anticipating, and we're hoping we get to see the kids, and we never do, and then we never, and just it's heartbreaking. And you really, like, I know Nolan gets a lot of crap about like he can't write characters or whatever. Like, that is a beautiful, emotional, painful, melancholy moment. When
does he get crap for that?
He does. Like, it's like he's all concerned with weird plot intricacies and whatnot, but like. That's pretty solid.
He's got great character. Yeah. I didn't know people complained about that.
Yeah. So.
Got.
And then I just wanted to also just bring up we see multiple times we see extreme close-ups of his watch, of Dom's watch, and some other people's too, as time slows down. I just think that's kind of cool watching it tick down.
Yeah.
And then shaky cam is the dreams collapse, because shaky cam can be misused all the time, but I think it's perfectly used here again, just to.
He does very little shaky cam. He's a lot of like that thing's mounted almost the entire time.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, but it also spins with the world, but like it always moves through the world in a very steady way.
Yeah. Or even like the first person point of view where the buildings fold over. It's just super immersive. Like, this movie does such a good job of bringing you into the dream world, where you're just in awe the first time you watch this movie.
But it's so fast paced that you don't even have time to question it. It's so fast paced.
True.
Which I think we'll probably talk about that more when we get to Tenet, because Tenet, like, it's too fast paced and you don't have time to like,
Tenet might be
maybe
a
I'll
10-part
understand
episode, man. I don't know. That the next time I watch
I think we need to
will be
watch
the first
Tenet
time I've
together
seen it.
because I need someone to explain it
I need
to me
some
as I watch it.
hand-holding.
It's so confusing.
It's so
I need some
confusing.
cliff
I love
notes.
it. I love it so much. Anything else for visuals before we move on to sound? You guys good?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about sound, which, as I said, won Oscars for Best Sound Editing, Best Sound Mixing, and nominated for Best Original Score, which it lost to The Social Network, which is a good score, but I love his score so much.
No, here's the problem with this, okay, is that music alone might not. I get that, okay? But when you tie the music and everything that's going on, the sounds, back with the scenes and what's going on, it's incredible. You can't separate the two. That whole music and sounds going on from world to world or from scene to scene sets the stage, and the emotion makes you go, oh my gosh, this is intense, or this is backing up. Like he does an incredible job. Incredible.
Yeah.
I feel like the music makes everything.
Okay, so that the French song that plays as the clue.
Oh, I'll never hear that again. For the same.
Non je ne regrette rien.
Yeah.
Specifically Edith Piaf.
So
bonjour.
I wrote that. I hope I pronounced that right. But yeah. Oh, real quick, what this one might help. What that translates to is, no, I regret nothing.
I don't regret.
So is that song made more famous? I mean, it's already a famous song by this movie or Saving Private Ryan?
I'm going this movie.
Well, you only saw Saving Private Ryan twice.
I've seen it twice, but this is a crucial part of the movie. Like, this tells you it's time to get ready for the kick. This serves a narrative purpose. But on the other one does too. But I think this is a vital part of this movie.
So this movie.
If I'm somewhere else and I hear that music come on, I'm going to be like going, wait, you hear that? It's the kick. Get ready.
Time to wake up.
Time to wake up. You can't hear that song the same ever again after this.
To have that as my wake up song, that would be crazy.
Nope.
Creepy.
Yeah.
Like, open your eyes to it. Oh my gosh.
Is this the movie that made the that sound famous? The
I think so.
Is this where this started?
Because it was in the trailer. That was one thing I saw a lot about. Yeah, that was
which was so cool at the time, but now
for good
I'm
or
just
for
like,
evil.
stop.
Yeah. I do want to say too about the sleeping thing that I was going to mention this later, but this is perfect. There was, and I wish I still had it. There was an iPhone app that came out around the same time as this movie. It was the official I was going to say Insomnia, Inception app that had score in it, and it was supposed to induce dreams. And when you'd build levels if you went let it play for certain. You were supposed to put your earbuds in and listen to this music as you dreamed.
I don't buy it. Nope.
I don't know.
Bull crap.
But you got the score essentially for free, so that was kind of cool. But I did try it every now and again.
Back once upon a time where music, cost money. Now it's
this is 15 years ago when this existed, but
yeah.
So other things. What about sound effects? Any sound effects that we really liked? Because I have a handful.
Oh wait, can I talk about soundtrack just a little bit?
Do it. Yeah, anything. That's all good.
As we know, I'm not one to notice the soundtrack. I feel the emotion, but I don't notice it. But I think Nolan is just so good at when not to play the music, right? Ooh. When to cut it for the emotional effect. For example, when Mal.
Oh yeah, brutal.
Jumps. It's silence, pure silence. But he uses that as a weapon for the audience, and that scene is rough. And oh man, Leo's acting in that scene you don't ever see his wife die, but you feel that pain and emotion.
Oh,
that's top notch acting right there.
Goodness, I just love. We talked about the slow motion with the visuals. There's also slow motion sound during the kicks, which it's married together. I think that's just great sound design. I love the sound of all of the architecture and the buildings as they fold. All of that kind of stuff, which clearly has to be made up, but
just the little effects that they throw in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. There was. Oh, I wanted to mention. So the song. I'm gonna try and say it again. Non je ne regrette rien, which I thought was interesting. Again, no, I regret nothing. And then you have that line repeated, which we'll talk about probably at the end of the show today. Old man filled with regret, waiting to die alone. I think that there's a reason that song is picked. Well, obviously there was a reason, but I think that matches up beautifully with that theme we keep hearing over and over again about regret, and where we see. One thing I wanted to know about what you thought, Justin, was so. This is a very electronic score. There's a lot of synth in this, and knowing that that Zimmer will later go on to do Blade Runner 2049, did you catch any wow, this kind of reminds me a little bit of Vangelis? This kind of makes sense that this would be the guy to take that up and do, because there was a few moments I was like, man, that sounds like Blade Runner to me.
Not really, but only because when I first saw this movie, I was like at a different point in my life than when I first saw Blade Runner.
Sure.
Like when I first saw Blade Runner 2049, I was very like into movies and I was like paying attention to that stuff.
Yeah.
When I first saw Inception, I wasn't. So now it's harder to rewatch Inception and not see it with my 2010 eyes. So no, I didn't pick up on that, but I feel like I have to now.
Yeah.
I think if we could get more Blade Runner tie-ins for Corey.
Watch how Corey just
Gosh,
squirms.
I'm telling you right now, this movie's worth a rewatch. Blade Runner is not. I apologize.
You haven't
for
seen
Blade
it,
Runner
Corey?
crowd.
Yeah, I haven't even
You
seen
haven't
it.
seen it.
Well, I fell asleep in it. I fell asleep. I was going to
No, the
Inception. I was sleeping
2049.
through the levels.
2049.
How do we get here every
I fell
podcast?
asleep in both Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049. If I hit both movies asleep,
It's one of my life's goals on my
Sorry.
bucket list is to get Corey to like Blade Runner. There's a couple tracks I want to mention though. Dream is Collapsing is the one that plays when the dream is collapsing. That's the one you hear during the strangely
Crazy.
enough, most of the film's climax, the song you hear when the van dropping, the stuff you're seeing with Joseph Gordon-Levitt going through the building that's rotating, it's very frantic. It plays over the end credits as well, but the song, it's called Time, which is the one that you plays at the very end when Dom walks through the door and his kids turn around finally, and that's the song that it leaves us with. Is just so, it's slow, but it's powerful, melancholy. It is, and it just keeps building. And you hear it on the airplane first when they land, and it's just like I'm getting chills just thinking about this right now. We won't play it because of copyright stuff, but yeah, it's so good.
Like just layer.
that's how I know he's dreaming. By the way, he sees his face of his kids. Sorry, total got me.
A student told me that. So last year I taught like a film study class, and a student told me this about Interstellar, and apparently it's true about this film as well. But Hans Zimmer and Christopher Nolan tried to plan out the beats and the tempo to the real time mechanics within the film, like the time dilation mechanics. And I see like people online talking about that, and I can't find like an official source, and I'm not good enough with beat and tempo to like actually check that for myself. But it kind of seems like that might be true, and if
I'd
so,
buy it. Yeah. Well, did you hear?
Whole other level.
I hadn't heard it before this viewing, but did you hear the clock ticking sound mixed into the score? Like it's almost like it's an instrument.
Yeah.
Just like, okay, yeah, no, the attention to detail is off the charts with that. So I would not doubt if that was a thing that they did. And maybe started it here and finished it there. So yeah.
I think that might kind of be an underrated aspect of Nolan films, is how well the music reflects what's actually happening on screen. Like it's deeply connected, and we kind of talked about that with Batman and the Joker, and just how I guess like infamous that score is in relation to that film. And definitely with this film as well. Well,
and thinking about it too, that this, unlike say Spielberg, which we'll talk about at some point, where it's almost, I think it might always just be exclusively John Williams. Like this, there's we started with David Julian on the first two films, Memento and Insomnia, and then we got Hans Zimmer and James Newton Howard, both great composers. And then later on we're going to have Ludwig Göransson, who seamlessly steps in, in the later films. Like we'll hear him in Tenet and Oppenheimer, and it's like all of these guys are amazing, but it's like Nolan's the common thread, and these there's a reason that these scores all fit the film so well. And like, yes, he's picking people, but it seems like he's a guy who definitely would have his hand in every little thing. And regardless of who the composer is, it fits so well what's going on visually.
I've always wanted to know, like, someone give me some background. Maybe there's a documentary. How much interaction and, like, I guess communication the director has with the composer, and like how much, I guess, direction they are given. Like, what's the give and take there in that situation? Do you think Hans Zimmer had like near complete creative control with a few notes from Nolan, or is Nolan kind of taking the head and then Zimmer, does his dream through Nolan's directions? I want to see how that works out.
Yeah, and does it evolve? I mean, I could see that, and I would love to hear some more about that. And like, that's the thing we should probably dig into. But with a film like Batman, with Batman Begins, where that's a huge studio thing and their property, and it's Warner Brothers, and they're like, all right, we're gonna let you do this, and you get to work with Hans Zimmer. I could see Hans Zimmer being already very well established, like kind of doing his own thing, but as it maybe Nolan rises up a little bit in prestige, no pun intended, that they, the partnership becomes more of a partnership and less of a, I'm going to just go over here and do something cool and just trust me.
Yeah.
So, a couple other things I just want to say vocal sound wise. I really like the voiceover about the resilient parasite, the idea of being a resilient parasite. I guess this editing bridge into the main timeline. Which, because that's what we're going to see. But the thing that really stuck out to me was that we hear his kids. We don't see their faces, but we hear James and Philippa on the phone in that one hotel room. And again, that disconnect. We don't get to see them, because a lot of times when you see a phone conversation, they'll cut back and forth, right? They'll show the people.
He refuses to look at them.
Yeah.
That's the thing that caught me, is he refuses to look at them in the final episode when Maul tried to call him over. He spins around and he's like, no.
Yep.
Refuses to look. He will not look at them until the last world that he's in.
Yes.
Which is now the debate of whether he's dreaming or not.
Which is reality, according to Michael Caine, because Michael Caine said, "If I'm in it, then it's reality."
What does Michael Caine know? He's just the actor.
Michael Caine doesn't know.
He said Nolan told him that. I do want to unpack that a lot more in the next time we do this, because I have theories.
Oh, we have lots of unpacking to do.
Yes, we do. Anything else?
I have opinions, and they are correct, and I don't care what you say.
Anything else for sound or any of those?
So you briefly mentioned like how Cobb talks about how an idea is, what does he say? Resilient, highly contagious.
Yep.
A parasite,
like a
bacteria,
worm.
virus.
Once an idea is taken hold of the brain,
Yeah, being like a parent and a teacher, I think about that so often. It's like, oh no, what if I accidentally Inception one of these kids and it like changes the course of their life, not for the better?
Dang.
Like, what if I tell one kid, oh man, your breath is bad? I wouldn't say that. I mean, we'll see. But your breath is bad, and it just like wrecks them for the rest of their life. Before you know it, they're in like a sanatorium, like just brushing their teeth because they think they have bad breath. What if I did that?
It would work.
You might have. Maybe. Hope not.
One can hope.
Okay, so let's go. We're gonna start performance, and there's no melodrama in this, right? That's just straight dramatic, great performances across the board. Yes.
Oh, this whole movie is filled. Every single person in this movie had a great performance.
DiCaprio is a great actor. Period. I don't know how much Nolan had to direct him, and like that scene that Justin mentioned with Maul.
Can we
taking a plunge?
Okay, I mean everyone's amazing. Maybe let's start at the bottom. Who sucked the most? We need to get spicier about this. We can't just talk good things this entire time.
I don't think there's anybody in there that you look at and say that was a bad casting. Those kids in here was a good casting.
Those little kids, they never turned around.
Those kids sucked.
Oh, it's those kids. Yeah, those kids.
They wouldn't even like face the camera. What's wrong with those kids?
They're not even real, so you don't have to worry about their self-esteem.
Oh,
it's okay.
That's you just come on.
I'm on Corey's side with this one.
Oh wow. Okay.
So, yeah. No, everybody in here, from top to bottom, everybody fits. I mean, if you want to say somebody, it'd be someone who's a subconscious person that gets sniped off pretty quick. Those guys, they were terrible. But no, everybody had great lines, delivery, fit the part, fit the profile.
Yeah.
You didn't look at anybody and go, you shouldn't have been in it.
Yeah. It's weird watching it now, knowing like how big some of these people have blown up. Like even Cillian Murphy just going, hey, he's barely in this. I mean, he's an important part of it, but like later on, that guy's going to be huge. Tom Hardy's in this, just not a whole lot. But he's great.
Tom Hardy he's barely in this movie.
Yeah.
I was disappointed.
I love him in this movie.
So
this is how Christopher Nolan works. He gets a guy in a movie and then later comes and says, "You're my main guy."
Yeah, he gets him young and ropes him in, and then
Yeah, I love that. You just get that stable of actors and just keep working with them over and over again. I mean, this is the second time we've seen Ken Watanabe from Batman Begins. We see him again. Michael Caine, of course, we've seen multiple times. Yeah, he's fantastic in it.
Cillian Murphy, we see multiple times.
Yep.
Yusef, what is he in?
Tom Hardy.
He's in
He's in Avatar.
That's right about the same time, right? That was like a year or two different.
Yeah, he didn't really go anywhere.
I don't have his name. Dilip Rao, I think, is his name. I was going to talk more about that later.
Oh, he's in Mr. Robot. Nope. No, well, one episode. Okay, I was thinking of something else.
What about the kid that plays? Oh gosh, I just blanked on his name. He ends up being Dick Grayson in The Night Rises.
Spoiler.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
JGL. Yeah.
Justin Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, he's great in this. Arthur.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's great in this.
So quotes. Let's do that to kind of. We're running a little bit long. I know we had some hard outs tonight.
Yes.
So, couple. Let's start with one each. Corey, I see you're ready to jump into the gun. So
I am.
Give me one.
I love it. I love it because I feel like this highlights Ames so good. It's when he pulls up that big gun. And Josh Gordon-Levitt looks at him, and then he says to Josh, he says,
Jason,
you mustn't be afraid, he says, you mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. The way Tom Hardy delivers it, it's almost a Bane cleverness line, like how he says it. It's just so good. He's got a little accent in it, and it just fits his personal. Because that's the part there where you look at and you go with him, and you go, this is a guy who's figured out how the dream world works, whether he was one of the soldiers or not, and is like, I'm going big. Everything I need, I'm going to overshoot what I want.
You? Exactly.
And then when he goes down into the world with the snow and the base, he is like super soldier mode. So, I think it just credits to him, his character and everything. So
yeah, like next episode, I want to talk about his clothes because it fits also with the grenade. It's like everything he does is loud.
Yep.
Justin, you got a quote you want to share?
Okay, not really. I got to complain. Can I complain?
Yes.
Yes.
This movie's like super deep.
Yeah.
It's got layers. It's got a lot of stuff going on to it. It's got like real world connections that really make you go, huh, about your life. But there's not really like any good profound one-liners that you'd get out of a fortune cookie.
I'd say that there are.
There's
really
a few.
Give me some, and then I'll comment on them and say I should have said that.
I will
give us one.
All right, so back to Eames. And they go in Mumbai and they see those guys all hooked up to the dreams. And Eames says, they come here every day to sleep. And the guy looks at him and says, no, they come to be woken up. The dream has become the reality. Who are you to say otherwise, son?
I can't apply that to my life.
Ooh. Oh, well.
Well, what if you could just go...
Okay.
All that tells me is I need to nap more. Like,
So, all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do think that a lot. Like a couple of years ago when I got one of those Quest like virtual reality headsets, and I mean now it's not as impressive as it once was, but
yeah.
I'd put that thing on and I'm just like, what if I just lived here the entire time? And it's like I feel like we're gonna get to that point in reality, just like Ready Player One, style where reality doesn't matter. It's where you go, virtual reality.
Yeah, your focus determines your reality. As Qui-Gon once said.
Oh, yeah, that is Qui-Gon. And your email signature.
That's true. Well, I'll share one. So, it's a thing that we see repeated multiple times, where you have Maul says it and Cobb both say it. About you're waiting for a train that will take you far away. You know where you hope this train will take you, but you don't know for sure. But it doesn't matter. How can it not matter to you where that train will go? Because you'll be together. Which is the thing that, gets them out of limbo, to be able to just to trust that. But it's also kind of the thing that he keeps sucking him into limbo, in a way, right? Because that's the only place that he can be with Maul. So there's kind of this.
It's not about the destination; it's about the journey.
It's the friends that we've met along the way. That's the real treasure.
Yeah. I counted a total of 2 jokes that Christopher Nolan put into this movie, which I think is double from any of his previous movies.
What do you got?
Both of them told by Arthur. So the one was when the guy is chasing him up the stairs, and then he falls down the stairs, and he's like, paradox.
Oh.
So that's joke 1, and then joke 2 was where he tricks Ariadne into kissing him.
Yes.
Which today we would call sexual assault.
Well, there's another exchange with them. That's also funny, I think, where I remember
3 jokes. Wow.
Yeah, well, Ariadne says, "Didn't Cobb say never to do that?" So now you've noticed how much time Cobb spends doing things he says never to do. It's great. Yeah, there's levity.
I've also hit that point with my children where they're like, Dad, you told us not to do that. Why are you doing it? I'm just like, because you need to be better than me.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
It's fine. Okay. So anyway, like we said, we're gonna pause here because this movie is just so dense, and we want to make sure we give it its due, not rush through it. So we do want to make sure that we give you guys all a chance to share your favorite quotes with us, if you have some from Inception. So that's what we'll end with. So right now we're gonna go ahead and wrap up, and we just want to say thank you guys so much for listening. If you'd like to connect with us, you can find us on X, Instagram, and Facebook. Email us at readingbetweenreels@gmail.com. or use the SpeakPipe app on our website. And if you enjoyed the show, please like, follow, subscribe, and be sure to leave us a 5-star review on iTunes or Spotify. This helps the show tremendously, absolutely helps us reach more people. So as we said, our next episode will be a conclusion of our breakdown of Inception, starting with a continuation of our look at the performances in the film. So send us an email or voicemail about your favorite quotes from Inception, and we will share them at the start of the next episode.
I want to know who the worst actor is in the movie, too. Send us those emails.
Let's do it.